a dangerous groups that we're dealing with now. This is a dangerous groups that we're dealing with now. This is a dangerous groups that we're dealing with now. This is a dangerous groups that we're dealing with now. This is a dangerous groups that we're dealing with now. This is a dangerous groups that we're dealing with now.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bills fans, welcome to 24/7 Buff Fandemonium presents the Kagan Report, Season 3, Episode 7. I'm Jarrod. Joining me tonight, we have Scott.
Hey, what's up, Mafia?
and Swank.
Yeah. Draft time 2022. Ooh, how sweet it is.
Man, when you sit back and you look at what happened Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, you can't help but be happy. But we'll get into that in a couple minutes. First of all, let's welcome the Fandemonium, Chris Christian, Ellen Lartz, Daniel Gorham, Patrick Hughes, John Johns, Ryan Hickman. That's all I got right now. Anybody else got anybody else?
I got a whole lot more.
Go.
Ryan Hickman, I'm driving but Watchman. What is up, Ryan Hickman? He asked for my address. Buddy, I sent it to you. Your notifications are on sleep mode, so it's there. I can't wait. Is it going to be nudes? I hope it's nudes. Anyway, we got Patrick Hughes saying, what's up, Mafia? We got Paul Rossi, sponsor of our draft special, saying, let's go Buffalo. Paul, thank you so much for the food and the beverage. We all partook, and it was very good. Buffalo Spartan, what's up?
This is Sparta!
He says, sorry I couldn't call into the show from the draft. The shit was so hard to hear anything. That's all right, brother.
Yeah.
We're just glad that we could touch base with you and that you had a good time. Chris Christian.
How's the joint? Go ahead, Swank.
Chris Christian, let's get ready to rumble. Ellen Lartz, draft was great overall. Let's go Buffalo Bills. Dan O'Gorman, John Johns, Josh Cook, Lisa.
Joshy.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. We got Uncle James. We got so many people, man. I'll be throwing your comments either down there or up there, depending on what scene we're on. Right? Right. Go ahead, buddy.
What a great addition to the show is everyone can see everybody's comments coming up on the screen. So we really need to read along with what's going on below. As I'm looking at it, we have us up top and then all the comments below. But Swank, thanks for that addition. That's freaking awesome. It just adds to the show.
Anything for you guys and the Fandemonium.
Let's start this right off with Scott. Do you have something in your left or right hand right there?
I sure do.
Lift
I
that
sure
baby
do.
up.
And our buddy
us?
Swank, was talking about Ryan Hickman and Buffalo Autographs. So those of you who don't know, Buffalo Autographs is our sponsor, is our partner, actually, the best of partners. And for that draft show that we did,
Oh, damn.
a nice Gabriel Davis Blaze Blue autographed COA mini helmet. So if you commented during that draft, you were entered to win this guy. And I think we're going to spin that Fandemonium Wheel of Destiny to find out who the winner is, right?
We doing it right now?
Yeah, let's do it right now. We haven't
Sure.
done one of these in a while. Can't wait.
Well, then, there we are.
Spin that wheel. Pew,
Look this
pew,
way.
pew, pew, pew.
You all ready to go?
All
Yeah.
right. So again, like Scott said, if you commented in the draft show live, then you've been put on the Fandemonium Wheel of Destiny. And this is going to be the winner. So when you win, personal message or DM or however you want to say it, 24/7 Buff Fandemonium, your address, and we will send that out ASAP.
For sure. For sure.
Scott, you want to make a sound effect for Swank?
There it is.
More like
There
a
you have it.
firecracker.
See, I've learned that you read boys make a really long sound effect, so I just wait until you stop making noise.
We don't just go
Good
pew,
call.
pew.
Charla Zwemmer.
Nice.
Charla
A new
Zwemmer.
winner.
Winner,
Awesome.
winner.
Compliments of our friends, the best sponsor in all the land, BuffaloAutographs.com. BuffaloAutographs.com, where you can get all of your merchandise at crazy, crazy, super competitive prices.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
And if you're not going to the Razzes or the giveaways and all that stuff, you could just straight up buy them at BuffaloAutographs.com.
And
Yep.
if you're not reading what Ryan just said below, he does have new Razzes coming soon. We got some Josh Allen merch.
There you
And
go.
I know
You-
Katrina,
right
his
there.
partner there in crime, also said that soon they'll be putting out the mini helmets straight for sale. And when we say you can't beat their prices, you can't beat their prices. So go check them out at Buffalo Autographs. They're effing sweet.
They have a lot of mini helmets available, and yeah, a lot to offer. So check them out, guys.
We
How
got
many times
Uncle-
are we gonna say check them out?
Check them out, man. Check them out. We got Uncle James saying, Punk God, hell yeah. Matt Ariza, if you didn't see the video clip where I butchered his name, and then tweeted that clip saying it's like a razor, like you're a New York City guy saying a razor. And I wrote, yeah, it's really easy. I even spelled it out phonetically and shared that clip that Jarrod put out there. And then Matt Ariza actually responded to it on Twitter, and he was just like, close, but no, that's still not it.
That's
So
pretty sweet that he responded to you on Twitter, though.
Yeah,
that was pretty awesome to see.
It was
that.
super funny, man. And I think he got a little chuckle out of it. I tried to get him to get on the show, but he didn't respond after that. He must have been a little busy this last weekend. I don't know.
Must have been something going on. It's going to be funny if someone ever asks him the question. Being a punter for the Buffalo Bills is if he feels comfortable punting 6 games a year, and that's just going to be something else. I guess his biggest issue is going to be holding for the kicker. So even if they use him for that, we'll see what happens. But we got the punter that I think 99% of the Bills Mafia wanted anyway. So welcome to Buffalo, Matt Ariza.
I love that we're starting the show off talking about the punter because it's justified, man. It is the most important, one of the most important positions that we drafted. And some of the cool things that I was learning about him through this whole process, he is a left-footed kicker. He kicks the ball left-footed, and he drops he drops the ball left-handed, but he's actually right-handed. So one of the worries is that he's catching it in his non-dominant hand and dropping it to his dominant foot, and there's a lot of room for error or whatever, right? He seems to not care what anybody, like every interview I've heard him, he's like, yeah, I've been doing it my whole life. And there was like an ex-NFL kicker that came to see him kick and punt that were asking him about, like asking his dad about his habits and what his routine is and all that stuff. And he goes, well, he's left-footed, but he's right-handed. And the guy just about-faced and walked away from him. He goes, nothing against him, like he didn't know either, but that's just kind of like the uphill battle I've had coming up as a punter that does those things. And I also thought it was interesting, he's interested in place kicking again too, like at some point, obviously not right now, but that's like a goal of his,
right?
Yeah, that's not going to happen, but
we got babyface Bigfoot Bass there. I haven't said his
baby.
Oh my gosh, I murdered it.
It's all right, man.
I haven't said his name in forever.
It's only been a year.
What is it?
It's only been a year. It's okay. Big boot, babyface Bass.
There we go. We're gonna we have a great punting and kicking squad right there, man. I can't wait to get these two guys together. Oh, so like Swank alluded to, round 6 with the 180th pick, the Buffalo Bills select Matt Ariza, punter, San Diego State, 6'1", 200 pounds. He runs a 4.68 40. What I saw also, not that he can boot the hell out of the ball, but he's not afraid. Okay, are you guys going to want to see this? He's not afraid to tackle people. He's kind of like our guy, Pat McAfee, that we love to watch over there on his show. But
I love it, man.
Is this the guy? Do you think the special teams coach is going to hold him back, or do you think they're going to allow him to run down the field and make some tackles? Swank, I'll let you lead the way with that one.
I think a guy like that, it's kind of like Josh, right? They try to protect Josh. They try to take that out of Josh, but that's what makes Josh special. So you're going to get him hurdling guys. You're going to get him straight arming linebackers into nowhere. By the way, sidebar, that picture of Josh Allen standing next to Gabe Davis in the weight room, he looks massive. And I'll talk about another player on this team that's come back ridiculously in shape. I don't think the three of us have talked about, but I was listening to WGR, and oh my God, I can't wait. But, yeah, I mean, I think if that's part of that kid's game, like that's why we all love McAfee. Everybody watches his highlights, doing the onside kick to himself and doing the $1 billion man dance or walk after he puts it on the one or all this stuff. But the main point of all those highlights is him trucking dudes at the last second before they break one for a touchdown. Like him hitting people like a grown-ass man. And I love it. And if this kid wants to do that, as long as he doesn't mess himself up and he's got the size for it, go nut, bro.
6'1", 200, and he has been doing it his whole career, so he knows how to hit. So that's going to be something to watch, because a lot of the times kick returners are thinking that the last wedge before you're gone is going to be the easy one to break. And if you have a guy that actually 4.6 40 is actually very fast. And with a 200-pound frame, that last resort getting by somebody is going to be a menace, and he's on our team, and that's exciting. Scott.
6. Yeah. Sorry, guys.
Good segue, bro. That was great.
I know this thing is fighting me on this. I can't. You guys are pausing in and out on the screen, but I see you perfectly fine on this.
Huh.
But you're fine. You're fine. No, I think have him do what every other kicker does, and just hang out until someone's about to break one. I don't think he should be part of that front line breaking the chain length fence that these guys create. And if he's going to put a helmet on someone, then they're going to start. What happens is these guys returning the ball are going to start trying to juke them out or do a deke move or something like that, rather than just try to outrun them. And that's going to be a good thing because that allows the pursuit to come back and catch up to you.
We got a lot of people weighing in on this right now in the comments. I don't think Hickman can believe that that's really my take on that. But, man, I think if you're going to play, man. Like, I don't want somebody who's going to shy away from it. It's like watching Tom Brady try and block, or you don't ever want to see somebody put that little effort into anything. Ellen Lartz brings up a quick little sidebar. Kyle Brandt's draft pick intro just flat out rocked. What'd you guys think of that?
He's always been intense for the Bills. I think he's actually a Bills fan. You would think so, watching the Good Morning America, Good Morning Football and all that stuff. But no, it was awesome. He's a hype guy. You saw his pre-playoff and playoff videos that he puts out. He loves Buffalo. He hit everything on the head. I love how he called out to the Super Bowl champ Buffalo Bills select. That was pretty sweet. And no, I love his intro. I love his energy. I'm a big fan of his, and I follow him on Twitter, actually.
Yeah, you left a tweet last week about Tecmo Bowl because he's a big Tecmo Bowl guy. But did you guys hear the story about the wing that he brought in? The chicken wing?
He said he had it in his pocket for like 3 days, right?
Yep. He got it at his local store. He brought it. He doused it. Was just a plain wing. He doused it in sauce, wrapped it in napkins, not like a baggie. And no one knew he had it until he pulled it out of his jacket when he came on stage to introduce the person. So that's something else too. No, that's gonna live forever, I think. Charlotte's Zwemmer, I think that's who we said won the helmet. She's already sent us her address, so she's on top of it. Congratulations again.
Nice.
All
right,
so you guys want to start from the top and go down, or what?
Let's start from the top. Obviously, we were excited about Matt Ariza coming to the Bills. That's somebody that we always wanted. But with the first pick, round one, number 23, we traded up from 25. When that happened, we were all like, oh, here we go. The Buffalo Bills select Kaiir Elam, cornerback, Florida, 6'1.5", 191 pounds, runs a 4.3940. Scott, go a little bit more on this guy. What are you excited about him or what?
Well, of course I'm excited about him. The guy, we had Andrew Booth going, we have to admit, but we also did say throughout the shows that if someone like a Kaiir Elam, Roger McCreary, Kyler Gordon, if any one of those guys are available, we take them. So this definitely fits into, I think, the Bills scheme that they're going to go with. If you saw the video on Twitter from the Buffalo Bills visit before the draft, the combine, it gives you goosebumps because it's almost like now you get a little bit of an understanding why being moved up 2 spots. And what I got out of it wasn't, well, Dallas wasn't getting a corner and Baltimore wasn't going to get one either. So why did the Bills do it? What had happened is that Kaiir Elam was the last guy on the Bills. What's that?
What had happened was I love that.
The Bills only had like 15 to 20 guys worth of first round draft. And apparently he was the last one on the list. And not only that, but what they did made me believe that he was the guy that they wanted. He was the guy that they wanted. Why'd they give up a 4th round draft pick? To show some history, the Bills have only had a 4th round draft pick twice since McDermott's been there. And that's when they picked up, we all know they got Gabriel Davis. And I can't remember the other guy a couple years ago. I'll find out that name in just a second. But it was worth it to them to go ahead, bump up, and get their guy, which has got to make you guys excited. Us, we armchair GMs, we do our thing. We like to predict drafts and all that stuff. We get we have a lot of fun doing it. But we're not the guys that are scouting these guys, getting these reports, following up on who their great grandfather was, and all. They get into the detail. And to know that Kaiir Elam was the guy that they were going after the whole time, that's exciting. And what this guy brings to the table is day one starter. And because Trey White's there, he's a day one starter for CB2. Um, it's pretty awesome. I'm excited for him. He brings a man defense. If you watch, they did play some zone in Florida, and he tears it up playing both of those kind of defensive schemes. So I'm excited for him. He's tall. He brings his notes to work. He studies. He does everything. He checks all the boxes off as far as being a McDermott the checklist goes. So I'm excited for him, and I can't wait to see what he can produce. Taron Johnson was the other 4th-round pick.
Noise.
And both those guys are
Taron
starters.
Johnson. Swank, what's your deal on Elam? How you feeling?
I feel great, man. As who's that? I think Joey Hatch brought up that we mocked him. Oh no, Dan O'Gorman. We all went Elam when we did our mock drafts. So that's awesome. Good on us. Good on the Fandemonium.
Yeah, buddy.
I think, he's very telling of where this defense is heading, right? He's more of a man player. They say that he's very adaptable. He'll be able to pick up the zone quick. I believe it. His work ethic, people in the comments are bringing up the notebook that he handed during his interview at the Combine, which had, if you missed it, every play that he had blown, every play that he was good at, evaluations, good and bad. He said it's a copycat league. He used a lot of vernacular, and I actually saw Bean on the Pat McAfee show, and he was talking about like how, somebody can hand you that and you can think like, okay, whatever, like maybe he just wrote it yesterday, but when you get to know the guy and you look through it and you dig it, you're like, he put in all that work, and that stuff bugged him enough to get better and better. I think that he's an exciting player. I think that he is going to lock down that CB2 side opposite Trey. When those two are on the field together, it's going to be ridiculously dynamic. I think all he has to do is settle into the league, and man, it's exciting to know that you don't have to worry about cornerback as long as everybody stays healthy for the next 5 years. I mean, it's great.
Yes.
I love the pick. I would have been happy with, 3 other guys there too, but very obviously this is a Buffalo guy. He is a huge process kind of guy. So I'm excited.
Robert Snyder said, "Hey, Scott, Swank, and Jarrod, what's up, bros? Go Bills." Hey, Robert, what's happening?
What up, Robert?
Hey, 716. Yep, 716 Sports over there.
So I might add, I must thank the Buffalo Sabres actually, because what a moment to bond as a team right off the bat than Josh Allen and his crew inviting this young man to go to a Sabres game and then get introduced in front of that crowd right off the bat. He hasn't even been introduced really to Bills fans, except for the ones that were there, Buffalo Spartan and crew at the draft. But he comes to Buffalo right away, goes out with the guys, hangs out at the Sabres game, and he gets a standing ovation by everybody. Thank you, Buffalo Sabres, because without that might add just a little bit more to this kid's work ethic and his wanting to be here in Buffalo and succeed. And I think when Elam was announced as our draft pick, we were like, oh, okay. It was one of those things like last year Russo was. And we're like, oh, all right. And then we look into it. We see the couple days following, and you can't help but fall in love with this guy. You see the back story of how this all went down, his excitement when he got drafted. The Bills were actually looking at this guy, his work ethic. He brought his own notes to the damn interview, and it's like it's something as fans of the game everywhere you don't really get to see until he's drafted, and then you see it. So welcome to the Buffalo Bills, Kair, and we're going to be cheering for you for many years to come, hopefully.
I'm glad that you said Rousseau. Rousseau is the other beast of a man that showed up to voluntary workouts that they said, Steve Tasker, and I quote, said, he looks like a dinosaur. He is enormous, and he looks like a dinosaur. Now, we all know what Motor did from 2 years ago to this last year, right? Changing his body, and I think he was a better runner because of it. I think he was very obviously more physical and able to move piles that you wouldn't think that little body could be able to move. Now you have Groot that's had a whole off season with our training staff and getting right and getting muscle in the right spots. Like, this dude with his length is going to be a force. Like, I think AJ Epenesa's stock just went down. If he really comes in here and he's as big as they say, man, like, that's going to be rough sledding for a lot of
I know that tugs at your heartstrings a little bit, Swank, because I know you love Epinesa, and I know
I do.
That's a big guy that you're hoping for a great year this year. But him doing that, Russo coming in and improving and looking like a dinosaur might push Epinesa that much more further too. So it's going to be an exciting offseason to see and watch. And injuries happen, and I hate to say it, but if they're all pushing each other, the next man up, we'll see what happens. And it's an exciting time. I just want to throw out there really quick. Charlotte said the Raz helmet would go to my 8-year-old grandson whose birthday is today. He is a humongous Bills fan from Montana. Charlotte, that's awesome.
She also says, thanks, guys. Loved your draft show. FYI, Kyle froze the wing until he got on the plane. Smart man. Man. Thank you. Thank you very much, Charlotte. And when we do these giveaways, it's as simple as showing up and leaving a comment just like you're doing now. So keep an eye out. We'll have more stuff coming to you in this lull of the season that we're getting into.
Man, Fandemonium, just throw this out there really quick because we are talking about chicken wing. Ranch, blue cheese, or if it's a good wing, nothing at all. Guys,
you know how many of these forums, how many different Bills sites are going to put that poll out here once it gets to the time where there's nothing going on.
We beat him to it, didn't we?
Dude, what are we going to do?
We'll be one of them.
What are we going to do? There's no stadium talk anymore. Like, what are we going to do?
Yeah,
I know.
We're going to talk about alternate uniforms and all the same crap that we talk about every page and every live stream and podcast just talks about the same things, like over and over and over in the off season because there's nothing to talk about. We're just going to have to speculate. Last year we reviewed the games from the season previous. We could try to do that. But
Swank brings up a good point. There's not much to talk about for a little bit, but the three of us are coming up with a schedule to put out there each week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, to get you guys involved on the fan page. So look for that. That's going to probably start next week. We're going to have a who am I? We're going to have a did you know? We're going to have just a bunch of stuff. So heads up for everybody to look for.
And Swank, tell me if you like this idea, Swank.
What's up?
There's a lot of rule changes going on in the NFL, and especially with that whole overtime rule going on this year. I told Jarrod I think it'd be fun to once a week throw out a playbook rule that maybe a lot of people don't know about, or maybe a rule that's affected the Buffalo Bills that in the past that kind of explains things to the fans of why things were done. I think that'd be a pretty sweet little segment.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about maybe coinciding shows with like Twitter polls and stuff like that. So maybe it would be something where like you can pose a question out to the Fandemonium, say like, what rules confuse you? What do you want to learn about? What, you know what I mean? And we could base shows off that. I'm all about like, if you guys got any ideas for how to fill the time and a good debate and discussion, let's do it, man. I mean, I'll sit here and read all these comments ripping Jarrod apart for even posing that question because
clickbait. What?
Spartan says 100% blue cheese. Jeff Consoli should boo anyone that says ranch. They must be bots. If I'm dipping, it's blue cheese. Joey Hatch, blue cheese. John Johns. Bills fans don't eat ranch. Blue cheese. If you see ranch, you should turn in your Buffalo card. Then Lonnie says ranch.
We love you, Lonnie.
Hell, if the place has a good enough wing. I've eaten them without any sauce before. Mm-hmm. You find a good wing, you don't need that sauce.
Here we go. If we're transitioning into the second round pick right now, Uncle James, look, he just did it beautiful. Set it right up for us.
Look at that. Keeping us on task.
Yeah,
round 2, pick number 63.
He says, I got one for you. James Cook interview. He said, I had to watch a Tim Settle interview to even myself out.
Woo!
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So
James Cook, running back, Georgia, 5'11", 199, runs a 4.42 40-yard dash. He is quick, great receiver out of the backfield. Swank, I'm going to let you lead on this one. I let Scott do it last time. What's your thoughts about this young man joining our Buffalo Bills organization?
I got to tell you, man, I understand Uncle James' sense of worry not knowing this guy. Because when you saw the camera go on him at his house, he was just kind of stone-faced. My understanding is that was more of a mean mug. Like, we're getting this going. Like, nobody's going to intimidate me. I'm a Buffalo Bill. And then reading, like, interviews and stuff with him afterwards, he's so excited to be here.
Yeah.
I don't think he's one of those guys, like a Kyle Brandt guy, that's going to run all over the room screaming and yelling and doing whatever. I think he's one of those guys that's like, get me on that field. I'll show you exactly why I'm a second-round pick. I'll show you what you should have done in round one. Like, I mean, brother of Dalvin Cook. Motor works out with Dalvin Cook down in Florida. They know each other.
No, they work out together. All of them work out together.
Yeah, one of the first things James Cook says, Motor and I are going to be the best 1-2 punch in the NFL.
Damn.
So there you go. I mean, not even – I mean, given all the respect to the guy that's already there, know the workout habits. I mean, I think that this guy – Motor is not the one that should be worried. Zach Moss is the guy that should be worried. I just saw a big depth chart, faux pas, I think, that had Motor, James Cook, so far so good, Zach Moss, Duke Johnson. I don't think that's the way it goes. I think that
Swank.
Duke Moss is third running back.
Chris Christian said, "What are the chances that Moss doesn't make the team now?" So he's right there with you.
I mean, I don't see him. I don't see him on this roster.
Guys, it's all one of those things. They still got this off-season training camp and preseason. And with the Bills having a running back on their roster who has running back experience, maybe not the best numbers, he may be traded if one of these big running backs get hurt or a couple running backs go down in the offseason. He may be traded for picks for next year. That's, it's part of the business. I've always been a fan of Moss, but with this, with bringing in James Cook, yeah, his job's in danger for sure, especially since Tywan Jones is going to be there for special teams. And who knows what they're going to do with Duke Johnson now. But, yeah, Moss is in trouble.
Yeah, I don't know. I really like this pick. I didn't – and I was definitely – you can go and look at the tape, was not looking for a running back in the first 3 rounds. I thought we were set. I like Duke Johnson that much. But this is one of the luxuries of, number one, picking your starting CB2 with that number 1 pick, moving up and getting your guy, the last guy you had with a first-round grade, and getting that tension off of not only, obviously the staff in the room and whatever else, but collectively all of Buffalo and Bills Mafia sighed a breath of relief once that guy's name came off the board, whether it was the guy you wanted or not. Elam is going to be a solid starter in this league. Now, going into round 2, I was all about best available. You just put a playmaker on your roster that actually has a chance to make it. We talked about this before the draft too. There's going to be guys that got drafted that definitely are not making this roster, and it's a shame because I think I like everybody that they drafted. But that's the reality of having a contender, having a force, and then you get the luxury to pick somebody like Cook. It's not like, oh my God, we got to get a running back. It's a luxury, right?
And it is. I'm laughing and smiling because I thought Josh Allen had enough talent coming in with the signing of Crowder, Duke Johnson.
Yep.
And then they bring in arguably the number 1 receiving running back in the draft. Yes, a lot of people were pissed off when Breece Hall went to the Jets. The Jets didn't need to make that move because they had Michael Carter there. They got him last year. So I thought that was kind of a desperate move. Great move. He's going to be good, but not the move the Jets needed to make. When he came off the board, I was like, oh boy, but with how excited that sounds like the Bills were to get James Cook, you got to understand, and I've said it time and time again, we don't know what this Ken Dorsey offense is going to look like. We have no idea. They brought in 2 running guards, and as far as I know, the tackle that they brought in, his team averaged 240 yards rushing 2 years ago. So he's a rushing tackle, a rush blocking tackle. And then they bring in a guy that can catch out of the backfield, can run, play receiver as a slot, play receiver on the outside as a running back, and he's got that speed, he's got the hands. I think this was something the Bills wanted to do all along, and they got their guy again in the second round. We all wanted someone like Breece Hall, Kenneth Walker, Isaiah Spiller, but I'm pumped about this guy because they just keep giving Josh Allen more and more weapons. Now
So
what are you going to do?
here's something to think about really quick, Fandemonium Mafia. So the Bills established when they drafted Elam in the first round, there was a whole projection of we need a cornerback, and we all thought that, right? We need a cornerback to keep up with Tyreek Hill for Kansas City. Kansas City traded him to Miami, so we got to face him twice a year now. But they still approached the draft into getting a speedy cornerback because he runs a 4.39 40, right? So now you have a running back in the second round that's coming in to play for the Bills that is great out of the backfield, catching the ball, good at running. We have Delvin Singletary running the ball, 4.6 yards a carry, doing wonderful things on the offensive side of the ball. Now that's McDermott telling Andy Reid, you want to play a chess game? I'm adding some pieces to this board now. So when I have Devin Singletary and Cook in there, what am I going to do? If I have two tight ends out there with Singletary and Gabriel Davis, what am I going to do? So not only are they putting the players in position to make great plays, but now the coaching staff, GM, Bean, are putting players on the team that are allowing McDermott to be like, okay, let's get this chess match going again. What am I going to do with all these threats now? And that's something, that's just something that's genius.
He said it. He said genius.
He did.
Genius.
And I believe him. I believe him a lot. He's the host, and I believe him.
The hostess with the mostest. So we're excited about James Cook.
We got people, Kendall Daniels excited for Tua trying to throw deep against the secondary. Yep. Chris Christian says, I'm not sure Christian Benford makes this team. Fair enough, man. I mean, I think nobody after, Khalil Shakir, and he's like on that edge. I think he makes the team, but I think that means you see, Touchdown Jesus or Stevenson, who, again, he worked out in the offseason, and they say he looks huge. I think you see one of these guys, holdover from last year, get cut. Maybe Hodgins. Who knows?
Yep.
Paul Rossi, a Jets friend of mine, said the draft was the Jets Super Bowl. I'd prefer the real Super Bowl. Almost any team with the Jets draft picks could score high, but it's because they stunk it up last year. They are better, but not at our level. I really wanted to talk about the Jets really fast. Everybody's talking about the draft they had. A+, phenomenal, home run. Hit the brakes. Yes, great draft. They need 3 more of them just like that to compete with us. Like, that's the reality. I heard a guy on Chopin the Bulldog right before the show say he's like a beat writer for the Jets, and he was saying that, their line is like great. I don't know why everybody thought they needed to draft a line. There's not going to be a running back controversy. Like, all this stuff where it's like, you can't tell me with the dumpster fire that they've started and continued to burn and just keep throwing tires on that son of a bitch for all these years, right? Now, because you have one good draft with potentially 3 amazing players, out of those 3 players, what are the odds that you hit lightning in a bottle with all 3 of them? There's always a guy. There's always 5 guys that you're like, Jesus. And who knows, man? I was a big Sauce guy from the beginning of this draft, and I'm not taking anything away from his skills or anything, but those comments he made about Diggs and how he's going to cover Diggs and blanket him, I wouldn't want him doing that on our team, talking junk to a proven Pro Bowl top 3 receiver in the NFL before you even take a snap.
Yep.
You can see why there wasn't a move to go up and get him. That's not the kind of guy they want here. You know what I mean? So I just say everybody who's, getting the parade ready for the Jets, you'll be lucky to be 500. And that's been Swank's Corner.
Here's the thing, guys. Jets have to when you're picking that often in the first round, any team would be excited. It's a horrible spot to be in, first of all. But if you're not nailing these picks in the first round, then you've got issues. You should be doing well in the first round. And getting a running back in the second round, Breece Hall, again, they didn't address the offensive line. Their offensive line wasn't good. Becton was signed a couple years ago, and he hasn't proven himself. Noah Fant's over there, and he's yet to be a guy that can prove himself and protect the quarterback. And let alone this offense, our Buffalo Bills offense is scoring 35 points a game. So you need to address this offensive line. We addressed our defensive line. Pretty hardcore. So yes, this is the Super Bowl for them. If they can do a couple more of these years of these kind of draft picks, then maybe they'll be a contender in a couple of years. But you could be excited, Jets fans, but the fact that you have to pick that many times in the first round should be telling enough about how the Jets really are.
Sorry, I got the giggles. Yeah. I got the giggles really quick because Paul Rossi said, "Swank, you're a damn poet, dumpster fire, ...
No, I mean, you guys both speak the truth. I mean, it's one thing to get the players, but now you have to have the coaching staff to make it work.
Yeah.
And, Sauce Gardner, you want to call it Stephon Diggs? He wants you to try to blanket him. Didn't you see him a couple weeks after the Super Bowl? He wants to be there to make his other players better. So if you're going to cover him to your best ability and maybe pull another guy to help you, that's what he wants. So, but also that's going to be more fire for him to do better too. So you're going to try to cover one of the best receivers in the league. So good luck to you. But yeah.
There has not been one corner that's been able to shut him down.
Yeah.
Name one game since he's become a Buffalo Bill. You could say Xavier Howard did until the last moments of that game where the Bills completely crushed them. And he caught the ball, one of my favorite plays from the whole season, caught the ball in the air, brought it to his chest, and before he hit the ground, Diggs had his head drawn at Xavier Howard hanging all over him. Like, I got you now, you and I love it. I love every minute of it. He does not shy away from that. That Jets touchdown, I've been watching these highlights like crazy because I'm just fiending with all this draft stuff. But that Jets game where he didn't quite come down with that touchdown in the left side corner, I don't know if you guys remember this. They were on like the 10 or 15, and Josh had Stephon Diggs one-on-one, left corner, airs it out. Steph didn't quite come down with it. They went back,
go right back to it,
and they ran it right back, and he stuck it,
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah. And it's like that is what that dude feeds off of. He loves it. And you know who else loves it? Josh Allen. No, let's do it again. You got it this time. They're going to give us the same look. That's what's up. And that's the kind of aggressive play calling that, number one, I hope they let Josh Allen take the reins and say, no, we're doing this shit again. You know what I mean? And that's what's going to keep these wheels spinning and turning. He's such a baller. And Stephon Diggs is such a baller. And you got that line that are a bunch of brutes, like running backs, tight end. Dude, it's so stacked. All right, sorry.
That's why another thing is if you're getting drafted in the NFL, the first thing you don't do is call out the number one wide receiver.
No.
You know what I mean? So now if you don't do what you said you're going to do, then it's on you. You're going to get so much publicity. It's not going to be funny. So,
Jalen Ramsey.
Whatever.
I know he's got a Super Bowl ring right now, but he still hasn't beat Josh Allen. Doesn't matter what kind of jersey he's wearing, still hasn't beat him.
Right.
Stephon Diggs smoked him last year in the end zone.
Yeah,
bad.
Yeah. There you go. Guys, round 3, selection number 89, Terrell Bernard, linebacker, Baylor, 6'1", 224 pounds, bench press 225, 22 times. I'd like to see a little bit more. Yes, Buffalo Spartan. I did read from my notes. I'm going to be doing that all night. Scott, what's your take on Terrell Bernard?
Oh, Matt Milano, part 2. This guy actually slipped under the carpet a little bit here on me. I didn't have a lot on him going into the draft. Didn't read a lot on him on the mocks. He didn't show up. But when you watch his film, he played for Baylor. He was utilized in many different linebacker situations. The guy is very smart. He may run a 4.5, 4.6 40, but his instincts, his football knowledge, and his knack to the ball remind me a lot of Matt Milano. Whole bunch of tackles in the backfield. He's able to bring down the quarterback, and that's what I see. I think it's an automatic upgrade from AJ Klein, and this kind of move makes me kind of think that if White is gone for 6 to 8 weeks, we might not see that 4-2-5 defense where Taron Johnson is playing the linebacker in the box. We may see someone like Terrell Bernard come in and play that linebacker in the box. And if you can get someone that can play just like Matt Milano on the other side, that's a dangerous 4-3 defense.
Yeah.
Very dangerous 4-3 defense. And
so I was going to ask you, and I might be out of school here, but a lot of people are talking about like a dime defense, right? Like
Strong
if you
guy.
have Milano and Bernard and Taron Johnson, you have, especially against like a high flying Chiefs offense, right? Where they're trying to cut you across the middle and you're trying to hang with all these guys that are going every which way. Man, that seems like a real viable option to me. You want to have Edmonds take a seat or step up and block a hole just in case? Fine. But I want to see these athletic dudes that can chase down wide receivers stopping dudes from, those 13 seconds. I know I said I'd never say it again, but one more time.
But this guy shows on his film that that's the first person I thought of. Like I said, I didn't do a lot of studying on him, but I've watched a whole bunch of film as of late, and he's a team captain. He's also a team captain, guys. And his missed tackle percentage is like one of the lowest in the NCAA. So when I saw this, looked up the guy, I was very excited because I know this guy could be a day one starter. No joke. I know Tyrell Dodson signed to take the AJ Klein spot, but I think they found their guy in Terrell Bernard. I'm very excited for him.
Hell yeah.
To be able to play that linebacker position and maybe a nickel cornerback for a big guy or a nickel or a dime cornerback, that's a very Buffalo Bills thing to do because he
has played safety at Baylor.
Yes.
He has played safety, and there's rumor that they might use him back there. So play him safety, have him be in the box. That's very dangerous.
Sure. Hey man, you know that the coaching staff loves these versatile guys that can play multiple positions. So, and he's a team captain, so he's a leader. Like, I gotta say, third round, I was looking for a different position group than linebacker myself, but I'm very, very happy with what we got. And let's see what he can do. Let's see him make this roster.
I'm going to do a plug for a guy really quick. His name is Kendall Mills. He's on Twitter. Follow him. He has a lot of the MySpace going on, and I like to join in on his conversations. A lot of people in there were talking about how Terrell Bernard goes from a linebacker, you could play safety. And I reminded everybody in that group that our man Milano went from safety to linebacker. So the Buffalo Bills like these guys that can go from place to place and play multiple positions. And this is a guy who could possibly add to, if you play an offense that has a heavy passing and maybe a slip run here and there, he could be very beneficial on that team. So
I like what Joey Hatch just said, Jarrod. He's like a hybrid safety linebacker. Have him cover them tight end like Kelsey. That's the thing with this defense. Leslie Frazier now has the ability to change a defense up. You can have Kyer Elam at 6'1", 200 pounds, now cover Kelsey at 4'3", 940. Cover him easily. Or you could surprise people, have Kyer Elam on the outside covering Hardman or whatever, and have this linebacker covering him with his size. There's a lot of options Leslie Frazier has now.
Ask Swank. Kansas City traded away the wrong guy. If they're going to trade somebody away, it should have been Kelsey. Tyreek Hill's going to add a dynamic to that Kansas City offense that you can't match up with. But Kelsey's getting a little older. He should have been the guy to leave. So if we got a linebacker that can cover him now, where's that offense going? And that's exactly what the Buffalo Bills needed to do on defense.
Yeah, and I think Dan O'Gorman brings up a good point because Spartan said Hill's gone. Their air game got cut short now, LOL.
Yeah.
But O'Gorman says they got Sky Moore in the draft. And that's true. He's a fast little guy. So is he Tyreek Hill? I don't think so. You know what I mean? Not until he proves it. So I think, yes, I think KC went down a notch, and it's just experience-wise. It's not anything other than that. I think, again, like you alluded to, dude, they should have got rid of Kelsey. He's an aging tight end. I know that he's still producing. I know that, he's a safety net for Pat Mahomes, but does he really need a safety net? Like, you could have drafted a tight end, got younger, gone through all the phases, and had the best wide receiver quarterback duo outside of Buffalo in the NFL, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think you just might have disrupted the flow of these guys, like the chemistry they had. And in amongst that, you're giving teams like us a chance to catch up when you're drafting guys like Bernard and all that stuff, and you're trying to get faster in the secondary. I think that might be that 1% that tips the scales our way, So hopefully, anyway.
And you got to take that wherever you can get it. So.
Yep.
Hell yeah, man. Anybody else have anything on Terrell Bernard?
No, we better move this along though.
Round 5, number 148. The Buffalo Bills select Khalil Shakir, wide receiver, Boise State, 6 foot, 196, runs a 4.4340.
Steal of the draft.
Scott, lead the way. Steal of the draft.
You guys just see me clapping like crazy.
I didn't hear it, but I saw it.
I had to put it on mute because I wanted to clap out loud. A human highlight reel. Body control, great hands. You see in his highlights all these one-handed catches. He's been playing all 4 years at Boise State. The guy, surprisingly enough, I did a lot of mock drafts, and I grabbed him in the 5th round because he was available and was getting like A+, 6th round A+. So the grade was there, but the fact that he was there for Buffalo, I think it's awesome. The guy's got a great work ethic. He could play in the slot. Kind of questions what's going to happen now. He may be the answer for Beasley being gone, even though we brought in Crowder, who I think is going to be the backup to Gabriel Davis. Now Isaiah McKenzie, Marquez Stevenson have competition with this guy. He can run the quick little reverses. He could do it all. And again, I'll go back to his hands. His hands are amazing. The guy can catch the ball. He's fast. I think he runs like a 4.40. I'll do it again.
There it is.
4.43.
The sound was so much better.
It's quick.
This is a great pickup. Great pickup.
Swank, what do you believe?
I believe this is solid depth. I believe competition makes this team better. And I believe this man will be on the roster and one of those guys that we talked about earlier, either Touchdown Jesus or Stevenson. I'm thinking it's going to probably be Isaiah Hodgkins. I know he came back. They were saying in the comments in really great shape for voluntary weight training, whatever. But dude's been hurt. He was a training camp all-star that hasn't been able to get on the field. So if it's me and I had to choose between that guy or this guy to put on the practice squad, I'd be putting Hodgkins in the practice squad all day long. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want to risk
because Hodgkins is having trouble getting off the ball and separating. So unless that's something that he can improve on, then you got to keep getting the guy above you, right?
And Hodgins can play in the practice squad the role of those bigger, taller wide receivers in the red zone. So that'd be good for him.
Yep.
Real quick, I want to answer this question.
I was going to throw it to you too, Scott.
Who do I comp him with?
Yeah, I got it up on the screen.
Scott, hold on. I got 2 questions for you. I want you to answer both of them. Chris Christian, who do you comp that wide receiver with? And then where was the other one? Oh, my gosh.
Great planning. Really good planning.
Oh, great planning. Here comes
I lost it.
Oh,
go ahead, Scott. Get it.
One of my favorite wide receivers, one of my favorite Good Morning Football hosts, Nate Burleson. If I'm going to compare him to anybody, the speed, the slot ability, the ability to find the ball, run underneath it and get contact with the ball, get his hands up, high point, catch it, the toe drag swag, all that good stuff. I like Nate Burleson, and I think he compares to him. And last I checked, Nate Burleson had a pretty wonderful NFL career, being the sidekick of Megatron. I know he went to Minnesota. Definitely one of my favorite wide receivers of all time. So I'm going to go with him.
Oh, nice.
I had 2 lined up there, but I forgot where they went. So
you still couldn't find it, could you?
Damn it. Nope.
Dan O'Gorman says Crowder has to also be nervous. Patrick Hughes agrees with him. Crowder's job is in trouble. I don't know about that, man. I think that Crowder's proven. And I think his he's solidified in my brain in the top 4. Unless McKenzie comes out of nowhere. I think McKenzie is more of a threat to Crowder than Shakir is. And maybe I'm nuts. And it'll all change by next year. But I think you're going to see Crowder in this lineup, man. Especially the way, we've all seen him torch us. The only positive that the Jets had for those couple years here. So,
Was him, yeah.
we got Alberto saying, "Hi guys, I made it."
What's up, Alberto?
Alberto.
Right now, the current wide receiver situation is there's 12 on the roster because they just brought 3 in from undrafted free agents. Gabriel Davis, Stephon Diggs, Crowder, potentially will be the starting 3. McKenzie, Shakir, Kumaro, Isaiah Hodgins, Marquez Stevenson, and Tanner Gentry, the ex-teammate from Wyoming. So other than those undrafted guys, those are 9, and I see the Bills potentially bringing in 7. So who are the 2 that you're going to drop off the roster? We've already said it. Isaiah Hodgins can be a practice squad guy, and so can Tanner Gentry. So I think all those guy jobs are pretty secure.
Do you guys think it's ironic that McKenzie changed his number to 6? Touchdown.
Face of the franchise, man.
He said he was going to sign any jersey that had his jersey number on it. So on Twitter. So if you have a number 19 jersey, message him on Twitter. Sorry,
our boy Kevin, who called into the show during the draft special. Kevin, how's it going?
What's up, Kevin?
Says Crowder has better numbers than Beasley.
He does.
There you are.
He does.
Round 6 with 185th pick, the Buffalo Bills select Christian Benford, cornerback, Villanova, 6'1", 205 pounds. Scott's clapping again. I think Swank alluded to him not making the team possibly. But Scott, I thought you were going
to talk about Ariza, but we
already talked about him earlier. We already talked about Ariza. That's why we can
talk about him for another 10 minutes. I mean, he's an easy guy to talk about.
Nah, we're good.
We got.
What do you think about
next
CB?
Show will be Ariza.
Right. I again, under the radar, there was a couple of corners that I would have picked before him, but like I said before, I don't make the money to make these decisions. Good sized corner, a lot of interceptions, a lot of passes, defense, but he plays for Villanova. They really didn't face any top tier wide receivers. Definitely an uphill battle for him, but a battle nonetheless. He's good size, good speed, knows the game. So I'm rooting for him. Maybe he'll be one of those last roster fills. Who knows? But cornerback, yeah. I mean, I think we needed to address it, a second one, so he's up there.
Yeah, I like it. I said that I wanted at least 2 corners out of this draft, with a big emphasis on first round. I jokingly put out mock draft, my first mock draft of the year. It was all cornerbacks except for Ariza, and I'm glad. More competition, more depth. I don't think we are 100% sorted out behind Trey, Elam. We got Taron Johnson, and you got Dane. After that, I don't know. Who knows what you got. So if this guy can come in, compete, show something, he'll get his fair crack, man. Like, let's do it.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm sure the Buffalo Bills organization is looking for, is competition in that CB room. So welcome him in, Christian. We look forward to your competition. Push hard. If you make the team, obviously we're going to cheer for you. But this brings up another question. They only approached 2 CBs in this draft. And I know Swank and I think even Scott thought that the first 3 rounds would bring 3. We got our guy Elam, and then CB didn't come until later on. Are you guys still pushing for maybe a free agent to come in here to Buffalo like Joe Hayden? Scott?
We've saved money. Bringing in Ariza and getting rid of Hawk, we're saving $1 million, I think, almost there. And I could see that we have money left over for a veterans contract. So the second half of the free agency thing will come around very quickly here, and it'll be interesting to see if they do bring in someone. But I still don't mind the thought of bringing Hayden in.
I mean, I'd love it. I think that you can rearrange some stuff. Makedovich, is he going to be on the team anymore?
Right.
Special
You know?
teams wise, maybe.
Yeah, but you got these other guys, these younger guys that
Yeah.
can play special teams, and you could
They're
clear some
looking for a
space with
spot.
him. I think there's definitely ways to do it, and I would welcome it, especially to bridge that gap. I think, everybody's hoping Trey's going to be back sooner than later, but you don't want to rush him back. And
Right.
all the videos we've seen, everything else, all the interactions, he looks good, but it's a whole different thing putting all that stress on it for, 3 hours every Sunday. So
Yeah.
I'd rather we had 2 solid corners that we knew were going to get the job done. I mean, right now, the same is true for Elam as I said about the other first-round picks. Maybe he doesn't. I have a hard time believing it, but there's that slim possibility that he's not what we think he is, and if that's the case, do you want him and Dane Jackson out there bridging a gap for half or, a quarter of the season, half the season? I think it would be smart to bring in somebody like Joe Hayden. I want Joe Hayden out of all the guys that are out there. I think he's still got a little bit left in the tank. He can bridge a gap. You can pay him the vet minimum, and he can compete for a Super Bowl. All that's really enticing. And then once Trey's healthy, you can rotate him in and out with Elam. Who better for a rookie to learn from than Joe Hayden and Tre'Davious White?
Yeah.
That would be phenomenal. So, I don't know.
That's the thing. If Hayden came in, he'd be playing 7 to 8 games anyways. That's about all he's got in his system, possibly. So,
yeah,
that'd be perfect timing for Trey White to come back.
And they also have the best safety tandem in the NFL back there too, protecting everything. So
Dan O'Gorman says no vet CB wants to come in and sit. And that's kind of what I'm saying, man. I don't think he's going to sit. I don't think he would sit for the first half of the season. And even transitionally, like I said, I think dipping a toe in. Oh, here he goes again. Why would Joe Hayden want to come? I'm telling you, man, that Super Bowl ring, that glittery gold, man, like that is the thing that's going to suck people in. Something to say, like, in your glory years right before you retire, that you got to play on the same field as Josh Allen on the #1 defense in the NFL. All these things matter to these guys, man.
Von Miller.
These are these accolades. Yeah. Like, this could be this guy's home run walk-off send-off, you know what I mean? Like, you take a shot at the Super Bowl, help a team win. Like Emmanuel Sanders, you could say the same thing about him. Why would he want to come to Buffalo and sit? He sat half the year. He was hurt part of the year. Like, and then, Gabe Davis emerged even more than what he did the year before, and that was the end for Emmanuel Sanders. I think, I don't know. I think it's enticing. I think gone are the days that we're like, why would they want to come to Buffalo? I think that there are vets that could have a shot at starting on other teams that would rather come to Buffalo and play rotationally and have a shot at a ring and to be part of this team, So
Joe Hayden only played 54% of his snaps last year. 54% of the defensive snaps. So
he did it down there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Was he hurt last year?
No, in Pittsburgh. He only played 54% of the snaps.
No, I know. Was he hurt or that was just the rotation?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I believe so.
Gotcha.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Round 6. We had a lot of round 6 draft picks this year. 209th pick, Luke Tenuta, offensive tackle, Virginia Tech, 6'8", 315, a big guy. Scott, what's your take on this guy?
He's a big guy who scored well on that test that they ran Spencer Brown through. That I forgot the name of that test, but scored really high on it. His athleticism is crazy good for being 6'8", 320 pounds. Fast on his feet. I did read a little bit of a knock of him not being able to bend at the hips all that great, but you can learn that. I like that pick. He may find himself having a better chance to land on the roster than Christian Benford maybe. But I do like the pick. And like I said, in 2020 for Virginia Tech, their offense averaged about 240 yards rushing a game, which is amazing and good for him. He's a Buffalo Bill, so we're rooting for him. Let's remember that the Bills' current roster tackles is Dawson. On the left side, David Kessenberry, who they have playing guard and tackle. Luke Tenuta would be the third guy over there. And right tackle, Brown, Doyle, Bobby Hart, and Alec Anderson, the guy they picked up from undrafted.
Nice. There you go. Nice. I think that's another guy that
he's got a shot.
I can agree on. That, yeah, he's on the team. give him a chance. And if he's anything like Spencer Brown, if he's got that, push to be successful, look at Spencer Brown, right? He was put in a couple spots this year and he succeeded, and we're excited for him. And I know John Feeden, we had on the show, he's excited for him too. So this guy, Spencer Brown, is going to be something special in the next couple of years. And you never know, with Luke, he might be the same type of guy. So we'll rely on the Buffalo Bills organization to determine whether or not he's on that 53 at the end of the year or at the beginning of the season. But obviously, we're going to be rooting for him.
Yes, Coach Cromer hasn't had size like this, I don't think, ever in his coaching career. And, this is a whole other story we could talk about with the possible resurgence of Cody Ford, with him being there and him still on the roster. But like I said, that's a whole other show. But I think Cromer's going to have a lot of fun with these 6'8" tackles that he's got to choose from.
Beasts. All right. So with the Swank, you want anything to say with this to Nula guy?
No, man. I mean, I just like that we're getting these big brawler guys and trying them out. I mean, it's what I've been saying for a while now. The Patriots did it. You keep stacking linemen, you bring them in, you have competition, you make it the best it can be, no matter who it is. And I love that they're getting these big giants in here. It's great.
Couldn't agree with you more. Round 7, the last draft pick, number 231, Baylon Spector. Linebacker, Clemson, 6'2", 233. This guy's a giant. Scott, what's your take on this man?
He's played for Clemson for quite a amount of years. He's been a productive linebacker there. Not the fastest, not the most I'd say he's pretty opportunistic. Not the fastest, most nimble guy, but he always finds himself either on the pile or next to the pile. Definitely a special teamer on the roster. Like Swank said earlier, we got someone like him that could potentially be a fill-in spot linebacker. That Bernard guy they got can play everywhere. So if Matidovich is gone, he's worth a lot of money in cap space. I could see them keeping Baylon Spector for a special teams opportunity for sure.
Yeah, it looks like he gets in, and he plays a lot of good teams too. I mean, being in the college division that he was. I'm looking at a picture of him tackling a Georgia guy right now. So he's playing against teams that have a lot of NFL quality players coming to the NFL. So that might be something to watch. And adding to the linebacker position never hurts. So
that's the truth, man. I mean, I think you just need competition back there. If you're worried about Edmonds, keep bringing in these guys. Like, they don't have to be clones of Edmonds to push Edmonds. You know what I mean? This whole the whole way things are going. I mean, with Elam, with Baylord. Is that his name? Yeah, right?
Bernard.
Yeah, sorry. Baynard.
He's from Baylor.
Elam. Yeah, there you go. I was just combining.
Baynard from Baylor.
With all this, you're kind of seeing, like, it seems like they want to get more sticky, right? They want to play a little more man. They want to get quicker. They want to do things differently. So just because these guys might not be Tremaine Edmonds' body type, Tremaine still has to watch out, because they could be completely switching from, like, okay, well, maybe we don't need a big guy that's a little slower off the get, that isn't quite as sure-footed and ready to tackle somebody as some of these smaller, lighter, faster guys that can cover tight ends, and maybe get a step on a ball. Like, it could be a complete philosophy change that could be threatening his job as opposed to just a player. So I'm hoping that he's taking all this in and, running up on this year. Like, this is it. This is his contract year. This is the biggest pressure he's ever had in his whole career. So one way or the other, either way, best man on the field. They're wearing red, white, and blue. We're rooting for him.
Hell yeah.
Hell yes.
Right now, our linebacker situation, I have dubbed is the middle linebacker would be Edmonds, Bernard, Tyrell Dodson, and remember we signed Markel Lee. Mm-hmm. And our will linebacker, Matt Milano, Tyler Matedovich, Andre Smith, and this Baylon Spector. We have depth there. There's a lot of depth there. So I think a lot of our special team spots will be filled by the linebacker position this year.
Yeah, and you're hoping those guys that they drafted in this year's draft will climb up. I know you listed them last on the roster, but obviously Bean and McDermott are hoping that obviously the best man wins, but these two young guys in those positions move up and take another person's position. And we've always said it from day one that when you have a good team, you're going to lose players that you really, 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 really like. So expect that to happen this year. And that's just the way the business runs.
I mean, right now, Jarrod, right now there is 9 linebackers on the roster. And other than the 2 rookies, the other 7 have seen playing time for the Buffalo Bills. So it should be interesting to see where these rookies are going to play.
Yes, sir.
Aren't you glad you don't have to make all the decisions for this team coming September? And that is our 2022 draft recap. We'll probably talk about more of these guys in the future, but for tonight, we really got down into it to discuss it with the Fandemonium, and I think that went pretty well. We're excited about this new Buffalo Bills regime coming in, the young guys coming in to see where they make their place in the NFL. And it's an exciting time because, again, this type of stuff changes these young guys' lives forever. So we'll see what the mini camps and the voluntary camps and all these camps bring forth for this Buffalo Bills season. I can't wait. Can't wait, guys.
You guys want to throw a quick grade on this?
Yeah, let's do it. I'll start out. Swank, grade for this year's draft, I'm giving an A-. I know a lot of people probably won't agree with that. I saw some people giving this C, but A-. First of all, I think we got everything that we needed. CBs, linebackers, we got a running back, we got one receiver. So I think we're being approached everything how we needed to. But thinking about a grade, we can give it now, but you're not going to know the grade of the draft until about 5, 6, 7 years down the road.
Sure.
I think as a Bills fan, there's high potential for all these players to come into the team and make it better. Even if they get traded away, if they make another team better, obviously that was a great player to bring in at that time. If they are successful, AKA Wyatt going to the Browns, he was very good there. So we'll see what the next 5 or 6 years bring these players. But for right now, I give Bean an A-. He did a great job.
Scott?
I'm going B+. There's always room for improvement, maybe even an A-. And the reason I'm saying that is because we had Bean and family bumping up, using some draft picks to move up and get Sauce or Stingley or somebody like that. And they would have to got rid of a first rounder next year. And the wonderful news, guys, is that we have a first round draft pick still next year. So the fact that they were able to make all these moves, bump around the draft a little bit and not get rid of a lot of draft capital next year, or they didn't get rid of anything. That excites me. They filled all the voids, and they improved our offense with James Cook and Khalil Shakir. Our defensive backfield is a lot better. When Trey White comes back, guys, Kyrie Irving and Trey White are going to be nasty for 4 or 5 years because he signed in the first round. So he'll have that 4-year, 5th-year option contract. We got the punter we wanted. We kind of willed that one in to happen, which is exciting. And we just filled all the things. So let's go A-. I'll go A-. It was a great draft. And they didn't panic. They did not panic.
Yeah, which Bean doesn't, right? I mean, he sits, he gets. There's not a whole lot of reaching going on with him. And there's not a whole lot of bad picks that he's had in his tenure here, right? So we got some people weighing in. Dan O'Gorman says A-. Buffalo Spartan says B+. Mike Voigt was asking, could we keep both Ariza and Hawk and just use Hawk as the holder? I don't think they're going to do that, man. They're not going to waste a spot for that. I think Ariza is going to be fine. He'll get a lot of practice holding here in this offseason. He's probably doing it right now. So I'd say your goodbyes to Mr. Hawk. I think he's gone. Dan O'Gorman, Y-A-. They took care of the needs with quality guys. Buffalo Spartan said, time will tell if it's worth an A. And I think that's a really good point, man. You don't know if it's an A yet, right? You almost have to grade it on a curve until you know exactly what they do, because, they could be the best guy ever, break their wrist, do something who knows? there's a lot of things that could happen. Buffalo Spartan also said it's an A+ if you include free agency. For me, man,
Absolutely.
I'm going A. I'm going A, and I think that the curve goes to A+. I think that you got everything you needed. We wanted that corner in the first round. They got it. Not only that, but a hardworking guy that gives a shit. We wanted Ariza. Those two guys alone make me the happiest guy in the world, you know? And then Cook, like, what?
Yeah.
Like, that's all
we
you can
knew.
say, you know? Wide receiver, linebacker depth. I mean, O-line depth, which we talked about. There's just a lot of stuff there, a lot of quality players, high ceiling guys. It was a very Bean draft, you know? A lot of character, very high ceilings on these guys. And, yeah, man, I think it's an A. I think if the Jets didn't do as well as everybody said they've done, we'd be the talk of the town, man. But I like that we're kind of just floating under the radar. Everybody's like, well, they're already good. And pretty much they couldn't screw it up, right? And with that front office, they definitely couldn't screw it up. So, I mean, I'm happy. I'm as happy as I can be. And this will be great. Absolutely great to get into the next couple weeks, months, however long, till training camp, OTAs. Well, we will get all those rookie shots of them coming to Buffalo for the first time and going to Niagara Falls and Lids and whatever else. So that'll be great.
Yeah. All right, guys, time of the show where we're going to close out. Scott, closing thoughts.
Congratulations to these young men. Your lives have changed forever. Welcome to the Buffalo Bills. We say here at 24/7 Buff Fandemonium all the time, if you're wearing a red, white, and blue, we're cheering you on. We can't wait to see what you do in this offseason. Work hard. You've had to work hard to get where you are now, and it's exciting times for you guys. So congratulations, 24/7 Buff Fandemonium, Fandemonium Mafia. Thank you for joining us. You guys kick butt as always in the comments. We love it. Congratulations to the winner,
Charlotte. Yeah.
of this lovely guy right here. And we will be putting out a donation raffle for a couple of new era field turf, pieces of turf. It's going to go to the Mid Lakes Eagles, Junior Eagles. We'll have more to the story in the next couple weeks, but basically their field's being taken down, and they make all their money via concessions, and they won't have a concession stand to go to the game. So we're going to try to raise money for them to help with coaching certificates, to help with new helmets, equipment needs, all that stuff. And we'll go into more detail as we go along. But that's for the Mid Lakes Junior Eagles donation raffle. 2 pieces of turf. You'll see the green, the field turf, and then the sideline turf is the white.
The white.
And then,
I got the
yep.
image.
And
up
then
there.
we have a show next week, the K-Gun Report, 8 o'clock is always on Tuesdays. The schedule will come out after that. So we'll have a schedule discussion in 2 weeks. And during that discussion, we will have the super fans on with us.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a good time. It always is. So tune in, guys. Tune in on Tuesdays. We're here. We'd love to talk to you.
Fine.
Yo, thank you guys for killing it again. It's really sweet. We talk about it every week amongst ourselves in our little group chat, but we try to be as real and true to ourselves as we can. We love to grow the page organically. We love that you guys have brought in your family and your friends, and that you stay so active. And the comments are great. The questions are great. The ball busting's great. Like, we love you guys very much. You're a family for us, and thank you. Also, you can catch us every Tuesday night right here for the K-Gun Report, Season 3. We're calling this next part of the season Into the Void of Darkness. But come on out, man. We'll talk Bills. We'll hang out. We'll have some laughs. We'll drink some beers. It's always a good time, especially with you guys. We can all get through this time together. You know? It'll be great. So, yeah, check us out on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube. If you haven't on YouTube, please subscribe to our channel. We're on Twitter. We're everywhere, man. So thanks for stopping out. Thanks for hanging out.
We are everywhere, man. We are everywhere.
What? Guys, I had fun tonight. We'll see everybody next Tuesday. Again, like I said at the beginning of the show, look for 24/7 Buff Fandemonium to put out the Who Am I's and the rules. We're gonna get the page going and interactive and polls and stuff too, so we can discuss stuff on Tuesday. We'll put polls out on Friday night, I think, and we'll discuss them on Tuesday. Thanks again for everyone's participation, and as always, go Bills!
Go Bills!
Don't forget to add us with all of your show ideas and topics. Thank you. Go Bills!
This is a dangerous group that